All right, we're so pleased to have Karen Barclay with us here today to talk about some of the upcoming trips that we're excited to offer to Ollie members through the Collette Travel Agency. And so, really, without any further ado, Karen, I'll go ahead and turn the floor over to you.
Great. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are getting ready for a great weekend. I think we're supposed to get some bad weather, though. We need the rain, but we don't need it to come down as hard as they're predicting. So, anyway, I know I've met many of you over the course of the years, and I've been blessed to get to work for Collette for over 6 years now. So, we're going to go through the 2026 trips. And I'm going to show you the itinerary, talk about pricing. I'll show you where on the Ollie page too that you can go to sign up for the trip. And then if you have questions or anything else like that, I'll be glad to hang out for a little while and answer those as well. So without much further ado, I'm going to share my screen. And you guys should see my Collette logo. You see that all good there? So, Collette, let's talk about this fabulous company, right? So, we all love to travel, and Collette is a family-owned company, and it's been in business over 100 years. This is actually our 108th season, and we travel all over the world, over 170 tours. Our philosophy is truly by travelers, for travelers. And what does that mean exactly? We're leading that evolution of guided travel. These are expertly crafted tours that connect that modern traveler to the people and to the culture of the destination. Our team actually curates all of these premium experiences across all different continents, really breaking the mold of a traditional tour. All of these touch points before, during, and after your tour. So, your tour manager, super important person, more like your concierge, is with you the whole time. Will reach out even before the tour, wanting to know, hey, why are you coming on this trip? What do you want to get out of it? Transportation's all handled. We take care of your bags, getting them up to your hotel room, all of your immersive culinary, cultural experiences, and thoroughly selected accommodations. We believe more time in destination, less time between destination. So we're going to average 2 to 3 nights hotel stays because of that, so that we can find that great location and then be able to hub and spoke out and visit different things, but not change hotels a whole ton, right? Whoops. And if you haven't heard about Collette in any other way, you may have seen us on the Wheel of Fortune. And we been doing this, gosh, for over 30 years with Collette. With the Wheel of Fortune, and with Pat originally, and Vanna, and now with Ryan. Also, the Hallmark Channel. You may see us on PBS or hear us on PBS, NPR, Wall Street Journal, lots of other ways that we do a lot of brand awareness. All right, the first one we're going to jump into is the Shades of Ireland, and this is actually featuring Northern Ireland. We do offer just the Shades of Ireland, but there's a lot of people that want to see the whole country while you're there, as well as to explore that Northern Ireland piece that brings a lot of history and culture and other aspects to Ireland. So experience Ireland here. And let me say, first of all, it's green for a reason. It rains all the time, and people don't go there for the weather. But remember, the rain comes in and out, so it's just a beautiful country, and the Emerald Isle, we call it. 13 days, 17 meals. The circle with the arrows either way is what we call choice on tour. And that allows us to give you options during the day of how you want to spend that day. Part of your tour, not an extra cost, just gives you choice on what you want to do. So we're going to fly into the beautiful, one of my favorite cities, Dublin. And if you didn't know, Ireland's one of the couple countries that when you come back to the States, you clear customs when you leave there. So you don't have to do that while you are yeah, once you get back to DFW or whichever airport you're coming back into. But you can see there how we circle right around clockwise all the way around. And we offer a Scotland post extension to Edinburgh for a couple nights. And then you could start off in London as well if you'd like, just to get the most out of the time you're there. It is a classic tour. It's a maximum of 44 people, average is closer to 37, and it's a level 2, 1 out of 4. So just be sure that you're comfortable with all of these expectations on the tour. We're going to start off in Dublin, the beautiful fair city of Dublin, the capital too of Ireland. The city's full of musicians and pubs and known for the Guinness factory, the Book of Kells, all kinds of really cool things. We're going to take a ride with a local guide. We'll see St. Patrick's Cathedral, O'Connell Street, National Gallery, Phoenix Park, and these doors. This is fun. So all the doors you're going to see are painted these really almost obnoxious bright colors. And this is due to really a legend that has been told over the years. When Victoria died, the English Parliament asked everybody to paint their doors black for mourning, but the Dubs, as any half decent dub would do, they rebelled and they took to painting them bright colors. And now today they continue to be those beautiful colors. We do offer a Guinness Storehouse and pub dinner. If you haven't been, or even if you don't like beer, guys, the history of Guinness, the marketing campaigns over the years are just incredible. There's a gravity bar there that you can enjoy these sweeping 360-degree views of Dublin. You'll get to learn how to pour the perfect pint, and dinner is also included. This is going to be a traditional, really cutting edge dishes from the freshest local ingredients and give you a chance really to immerse yourself in that culinary experience right there on the Emerald Isle. Then we're going to step back in time and we'll make our way to Kilkenny. Then in Waterford, we'll embark on a walking tour of Waterford, and this is Ireland's oldest city. You'll have a chance while you're there to pick the way you want to spend the day. So maybe you want to go to the Waterford Crystal Factory, see how this exquisite crystal has been made for many centuries, or you might want to visit the Medieval Museum for a guided tour, a glass of wine in a 15th century mayor's wine vault. You pick, both are included, and it's nothing you have to you sign up for or anything like that. Then we're off to Blarney Castle, built back in the early 1200s and restored because it did catch fire in the 15th century. The gardens around it are phenomenal. So even if you're not into going up the spiral staircase and kissing the Blarney Stone, beautiful, beautiful. Some of the most beautiful gardens in all of Ireland are there around the property. You will have the opportunity to kiss the Blarney Stone, and they say that if you kiss the stone, you are bestowed with the gift of eloquence. Then we'll continue on to Killarney, and we're going to get on a traditional boat. We're going to sail out to the beautiful waters there and visit the First National Park. Keep your eye out because you may see red deer and other wildlife that are present there in the park. And then later that evening, we'll have dinner at a local restaurant together. Then we're off to the beautiful magical Ring of Kerry. And this is where you're going to find just some of those beautiful, pristine beaches, quaint villages, majestic landscapes. This Ring of Kerry really encompasses about 111 miles and located right there on the southwestern part of Ireland. And on a clear day, you can see many of the islands out there. Then over to the Cliffs of Moher, 700-foot high cliffs. Awe-inspiring views too of the mighty Atlantic as well as the Aran Islands. And these cliffs are over 350 million years old and stretch for over 5 miles. And if you're lucky, you may see some puffin that live in that area. Then we're going to visit a traditional family during a memorable farm visit. And we'll continue on to Galway for a brief tour of the showcase of the City of the Tribes. The history is back between the 13th and the late 19th century. There were these families called the merchant families that dominated politically, socially, as well as the social life of the city, and they were known as the Tribes of Galway. So you'll learn all about that. And then we're going to take in the natural beauty of County Donegal. And here you're going to have the opportunity to stroll through the town square, quaint craft shops, woolen shops. This is an 8th century old town, and it was invaded by the Vikings who used it as a port. Then on to Derry, where a local guide leads you on a walking tour. Derry is known for a lot of its turbulent political history that you'll learn all about. We're going to do a walking tour, visit of the Craft Village, and visit this Georgian Square that dates back to the 19th century. See lots of unique shops and balconied apartments, all of these neat things. And then that evening, we have what's called a diner's choice. I love this. This is something very unique to Collette. And what this is the tour manager will have made reservations at, two or three different restaurants, and then you get to pick where you want to go and who you want to go with. So, they might have, enough room for 20 at this restaurant, 15 here, and that kind of thing. And you will have made friends with different people on the trip and give you an opportunity to try out some of Derry's great restaurants. Then the famous Northern Ireland, we're going to Giant's Causeway. This was formed by volcanic activity millions and millions of years ago. It resembles a cobble road leading into the sea, and there are 40,000 of these interlocking rocks that form a hexagonal footsteps that are fit for a giant. If you've been to Iceland and been out to the Black Sea or the Black Beach right there too, that's the same type of structure, that hardened lava that's out there. Then we're going to lose ourselves in natural beauty in Northern Ireland. We're going to explore the scenic back roads of the glens of Antrim to Belfast. You got rolling hills, you've got green valleys, just incredible. There are actually 9 famous glens that each hold their own unique characteristics. Then we got to have some Irish whiskey while we're there. So we're going to make a visit at a county inn for some real Irish hospitality. Then we make it to Belfast, which is the capital of Northern Ireland. There were a lot of struggles in this city. You'll hear all about that. It's full of local history too, and it has a really big, bustling, modern energy now as well. And of course, where the infamous Titanic was built, you'll see the cranes, Samson and Goliath, that was where the Titanic, the shipyard where the Titanic was built. And then one of my favorite museums in the world, to go to the Titanic Museum and experience the tour called the Titanic Experience. It's an interactive gallery and you get the full story of the Titanic. It really just brings to life everything and the day that that happened and the people that were on it. And it's just so super well done. Later that afternoon, we'll explore Belfast, give you some time to enjoy it on your own, and then our trip comes to an end. We do offer a London extension. It is fully guided as well, and it's on the front end. So just know that. And then we do offer a post to Edinburgh. Now, this is hosted. So what a hosted experience is that you'll have a local expert with you and they will do certain things with you, but you'll also have a great balance of some independent time as well. Pricing for this, right up here, this tour is going to take place May 15th through the 27th of 2026. And you'll see the pricing, and this includes your insurance of $1,247. Deposits are due. It's pretty close to when they were due because I know today is like the 20 something. I'm not sure what the date is, but there's probably still room available. So don't miss that opportunity to call in and see if we can get you signed up for that. Actually, I'm going to show you where you can sign up. Double pricing, including your all these things down here, your round trip airfare, your air taxes, and all the inclusions and hotels and tour manager is 61.48. And there are singles available, but they're first come, first serve. Okay, next we're going to jump into Journey through Spain, Madrid to Barcelona. So, fun fact about me, I was born in Spain. My dad was stationed in Madrid, and I was born in Zaragoza. But of course, when we think of Spain, I don't expect that you're going to think of me, but you think of tapas, you think of La Sagrada Familia, you think of flamenco dancing, right? Sangria, paella, all of those fabulous experiences. Here's how this tour works. We're going to go in to Madrid, and then we're going to take a high-speed train down to Cordoba, and we'll visit Seville, and then we'll make our way all along the coast, finishing up in Barcelona. There is a post tour as well if you'd like to stay longer and visit the Costa Brava region as well. This tour, just FYI, is a level 3, where Ireland is a level 2. So welcome to Madrid. It's a lively, lively capital, the largest city. We'll do a locally guided walking tour, marveling at all the iconic landmarks. You'll dive into a lot of the artist treasures too. The Prada Museum, which was opened Prado, excuse me, museum that was opened in the early 1800s. And you see lots of masterpieces from many different artists around. And then tonight, if you'd like, there is a optional night out in Madrid, taking the metro and walking to reach a restaurant with some traditional entertainment. Then we're going to get on the AVE or AVE high-speed train, and we're going to head our journey into Cordoba. When we arrive there, we'll have a guided walking tour of this historic city. You'll visit La Mezquita, which is an 8th century mosque that was converted into the city's cathedral back in the 16th century. One of the things we do on tour too are what we call responsible travel highlights. And this one on this tour will include visiting an award-winning olive grove. So we'll set off towards Seville, and you're going to immerse yourself here in the grove's charm, and discover too the unique olive oil flavor. And I don't know about you, but every time I go to a different country, they claim to have the best olive oil. So I think you'll figure for yourself which one you like the best. So then we'll also see the largest Gothic cathedral in the world in Seville, and do some other exploring, learn about some explorers who have been in this area as well. Then we travel to Granada, which was the last grand capital of the Moors in Spain and conquered by the Catholic monarch in 1492. We'll have a local expert for the tour of the Alhambra, which is a beautiful complex of buildings as well as gardens. You'll see a mesmerizing example too of the Islamic architecture here. And after exploring the Alhambra, your day draws to a close. You'll immerse yourself in a passionate rhythm of some traditional flamenco show and a light dinner, experiencing all of the music and dance that are integrated within their culture. Then we'll travel through Spain's amazing landscape as we head to the Mediterranean coast and have a view of the rolling hills here that dotted along the picturesque olive and orange groves you'll see before arriving in your seaside town of Valencia, which will be your home for 2 nights. Valencia has over 300 days of sunshine. So it's going to, be just an amazing stay there right on the water, and it's the third largest city. Its biggest claim to fame is the iconic paella dish. So we'll travel to Albufera, and we'll go to the freshwater lake that evolved from an ancient marine gulf, which is one of the most important wetland areas in all of Spain. Here you are going to get the history, and this is where paella originated. Um, and you'll have paella for lunch and understand why this has become such an important symbol. And then you take some time to explore Valencia and then head back. Then off to Barcelona, which really is one of my favorite cities in the whole wide world for many reasons: culture, architecture, world-class dining, just incredible. These architectural treasures span over 2,000 years. Be prepared to explore the city on foot, which is, very typical for any European city. We will get out and we will walk through Barcelona and to the famous Las Ramblas, which is dotted with just beautiful, colorful, different stalls that are going to have flowers and all kinds of different things you can buy through the famous Gothic quarters. Then a local expert accompanies you on a visit to the awe-inspiring Sagrada Familia, which is Gaudi's unfinished master. Construction has still been going on for over 100 years. Very, very popular to go see. La Sagrada Familia means the Holy Family, and believe it or not, it is scheduled to be completed on the anniversary of the death of Gaudi, and that'll be in 2026, which would be the 100th anniversary. Then we offer an option to go to Montserrat, and this is really worth doing. This is a monastery that you'll have a chance to go and see that sits very high up, about 4,300 feet above sea level. You'll see the Romanesque sculpture of the Black Virgin there, which was the patron saint of Catalonia. It's well worth it, but that one is an additional add-on. So hope you can join us on this tour. You'll return home with so many memories of all of the big cities you saw, as well as many of the quaint areas, the cultural food, as well as culinary delights with paella, visiting seaside towns and learning all about the history there. We do have an extension if you want to stay a little bit longer on the Spanish Riviera. This is hosted similar to what I talked about in Edinburgh. So you will have a balance of some independent as well as a local expert available to do certain things with you, as well as your hotel, several of your meals, all your transfers and things like that. Here's this pricing for this tour. So it's Journey through Spain, Madrid to Barcelona, July 4th through the 14th. The pricing again includes insurance. Deposits are due December 5th. If you do decide to cancel by that date or before, you get 100% of your money back, including your insurance. All right, so no risk. Final payment will be 90 days out. And this is 65.48 for double. And there are some singles too, first come, first serve. Next, believe it or not, the US, we sound like babies though, 250th year anniversary, right? So after going through Spain and Ireland, they're a little bit older than we are, but it's quite a big celebration that's going to happen next year. So we'll be celebrating our 250th anniversary of America. And this is a special tour that we've curated just for next year to follow in the steps of the Revolutionary War. 9 days, 12 meals, and this will take place in April. So we'll spend 2 nights in Boston, where we'll fly in. We'll visit West Point on our way down to New York City. We'll stop in Philadelphia and then finish in the capital, Washington, D.C. for 3 nights and then fly out of that. We do arrive in Boston and we offer pre-nights and post on all these tours too. So if you want to go in early to spend any extra time, that is just great. Here's some free time suggestions too, some other things to do that we won't be doing on tour, but if you do come in early or have a flight that's early that day, definitely some fun things to do while you're there. Optional pre-night, like I mentioned to you. So on day one, the tour's crafted to commemorate the last 250 years of America history. So why not start in Boston, right? Centuries before it became popular cosmopolitan city it is today, Boston was a battlefield, both literally and figuratively, for the fight for independence. It was in Boston that Paul Revere set out on horseback to the famous midnight ride to warn of the approaching British forces. All right. So we're going to start off here. The old church will be important to see, where the two lanterns were hung to alert the patriots of the British approaching. So we'll learn all about that. And then we're going to explore Lexington and Concord. We'll take a moment to explore some of the details here too of the Revolutionary roots with the Battle of Lexington and Concord, that years of strife and tension came to a head, resulting in the beginning of the 7-Year War for Independence. All right, then after Lexington, we'll continue on to Concord. We're going to make a stop at the Wright Tavern, and this is where the middlemen and Minutemen, and militia gathered before battle. And these men were an elite hand-picked force ready to fight at a moment's notice. We'll also stop at the Robbins House, and here you're going to learn and hear stories of the home's former inhabitants with notable ties to African American history. Then after delving into history, it's back to Boston, where we'll have a welcome dinner with fellow travelers. And here we're going to have dinner in the North End, which is known for its fabulous and spectacular Italian food, right? You'll indulge in a meal in the North End that'll just be steps away from Paul Revere's home. This is a picture too of Mike's Pastries, so be sure to find where that's located and go back. Have some money there. You'll be able to spot it because there's always a line outside, but they're very well known. Then on day three, we're off to New York City. On the way, we're going to make a stop at West Point, very prestigious, as you know, military service college, and most important military post during the Revolutionary War because of its location there on the Hudson. We'll take a guided tour. You'll explore both the current and the past roles. And you will also, just an important note, submit an accurate ID for us about 45 days prior to the tour. So, because you will just need to have clearance and everything to get into it since it still is a, active military academy. Then we're off to New York City. And at first I was like, New York City on this tour. But hey, yes, New York City does have some important roots with the Revolutionary War. So you will then go into this very vibrant, right? Rowdy, some would say, bright lights, bustling streets, city of New York. And it's really big, as you know. You'll have a free evening to explore, maybe make reservations. Maybe you want to go to the Empire State Building, Times Square, which will be staying right in Times Square. Then we're going to have a morning walk through New York City. We'll stop at a local diner for breakfast and we'll start talking about the history on a blended panoramic and walking tour with our guide. We'll see Central Park. We'll pause at the 9/11 Memorial. We'll see St. Paul's Chapel. And this is where George Washington prayed following his inauguration. Trinity Church here, where Alexander Hamilton was laid to rest. And then we're going to have lunch. We're going to sit down for a meal here at Fraunces Tavern, which was a favorite watering hole among several of the founding fathers. You'll have dinner there and you'll learn all about how George Washington celebrated with a group of officers right there at that restaurant after the last British troops left the soil. We do offer an optional Broadway show to go and see Hamilton. And the show is revolution. It's really a revolutionary show itself, right? Because it's won Tonys and Grammys and Pulitzer Prize. And tonight you'll get the opportunity to go see Hamilton if you like. Dinner is also included, and it does need to be pre-purchased so that we're sure how many tickets we need to get. Then we're off to Philadelphia, the birthplace of America, and 2 decades, two important documents that were signed here, the Declaration as well as the Constitution. We'll have a chance to have lunch over at the Reading Terminal Market. Used to be a rail station, now is a famous farmers market. Lots of fun things to see, eat, do. You got to have that Philly steak sandwich while you're there. And then this is a highlight, the Museum of the American Revolution. You'll explore all the history that we've talked about so far and start really putting all your pieces together of those things you've seen and things that are to come. That a huge collection as well as galleries over uncovering all of these stories of the people and events. Then we're going to dine aboard the Mashula, which is a historic tall ship right there. And many of these ships were used during that time of the Revolutionary War. This has been made into a restaurant and we'll have an included dinner. Then off to Valley Forge. And this is the site of the Continental Army encampment during the Revolutionary War. And then we come to our final city, Washington, D.C. And here we're going to spend the last 3 nights. We'll set out in the morning, hitting some of the highlights, the heart of the U.S. Capitol. We'll visit the Visitors Bureau, learn all about the history, the government, as well as where history was written. Then here we have a picture of Arlington Cemetery. So after lunch, we'll visit that, where over 400,000 servicemen and notable figures have been honored. And it was established actually during the Civil War. So always an interesting visit there. Then we're going to head over to see the National Mall, the White House, the other famous monuments and museums, stop and see World War II Memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and many others as we make our way then over to Mount Vernon. So we'll stop in Old Town Alexandria, which is always a fun place to stop. I lived in Fairfax. My dad worked at the Pentagon for many years before I moved to Texas. And Old Town Alexandria, I just remember has really great clam chowder. So there's fun places to eat, shop in that area. So we'll stop there for lunch. Then we'll head over to the mansion of George Washington and we will visit Mount Vernon. And here you're going to have the choice on a couple things to do. So maybe you want to hear stories about the lives of the enslaved people of Mount Vernon. So you can choose to do that. Or maybe you want to learn all about the women of Mount Vernon, including George's wife, Martha, with an opportunity to view a very iconic place through a unique perspective. Either experience, you'll have time to visit the gardens and the grounds, visiting Washington's tomb, and then we'll return back to DC. There is an optional post-night stay too, if you do want to stay in Washington an extra night. And then your tour comes to an end. Here's the pricing and the dates. This is going to be September 7th of 2026. The insurance should be included there in the deposit. So it's really more like 1127. And the deposits are due by March 6th with a full refund, including insurance up until that date. So no risk signing up. And then your final payment should only say 2026 one time. Sorry about that. Is June 9th of 2026. Total price double 5229. Singles are available first come, first serve. And air, transportation, everything I discussed with you, as well as hotels and your tour manager are all included as well. All right, next we have Christmas markets of Montreal and Quebec. So this is great. You're going to feel like you're in France and you're just hop, skip, and a yodel up the road there up in Canada. So it's not too far to go. And Christmas markets just come to life there. Twinkling lights, cozy chalets, just brimming with all of these artesian crafts. So we'll spend the first 2 nights in Montreal. Then we'll go to Quebec for 3 nights. We come back with 1 night in Montreal and then head back out. So here we are. Montreal really transforms into this beautiful winter wonderland. Cobblestone streets, historic buildings, twinkling lights, festive scenery. You'll have the smell of mulled wine and gingerbread. And if you're lucky, it'll be snowing. And if you get in early, there's fun things to do when you show up as we're waiting for everybody to get started. Here's where you're going to stay at the Sheraton Montreal. It's a fully renovated space here located right downtown, very close to the underground. When you aren't out exploring, you'll enjoy some of the curated amenities there too. They have an indoor pool, a spa, many different things for you to check out. And then you get to explore Montreal with your tour manager, really learn about the vast metropolitan city that it is, lots of gems to discover. We will set out on a sightseeing tour today and visit those treasures. So we'll see Jacques Cartier Square, McGill University, and the Underground, which is supposed to be incredible. It's really like a subterranean pedestrian network underneath there, tunnels and shopping malls and shops to eat. Really is a whole city to itself. And as you can imagine, there are sometimes some very cold and long winters in this part of the world. So it's a haven for people who live in Montreal. We'll make a stop at Mount Royal, the small mountain in the center of Montreal, very unique as it is a mountain within a city. And it was christened by Jacques Cartier back in the mid 1500s. And Mount Royal is where the city is said to have come up with the name Montreal. We'll see some of the city's highlights. We'll enjoy some free time while we're there. Cobblestone streets that host these shops and cafes, and have a chance to then head over to the Christmas markets. If you visited them in Europe, very similar. And you'll have a chance to see a variety of different stalls as well as things for sale and shop for these unique gifts with local vendors, which is so incredible. I know I went to the Christmas markets for my first time back in 21 or 22, and it was just incredible. There's lots of happy activities going on, people singing Christmas carols, and of course, lots of festive lights. Then we're going to leave that morning, say au revoir to Montreal, and we're going to head over to Quebec, which is Canada's French heritage. Cosmopolitan, we're going to trade in all this cosmopolitan buzz for really more of a cozier, intimate feel and slow down just a little bit. And some may say even move in reverse because the city's old Quebec area is really, really authentic, cool, and laid back. So you're going to do that. Here's where we're going to stay. We're going to stay in this lovely little boutique hotel for 3 nights. It's called the Chateau Laurier. And you are treated to upgraded rooms along with a great home base. You are a short walk from the St. Louis gate, which is the starting point to Old Quebec. And right there, you'll see on the that this hotel will be just minutes away from that, where there's restaurants and shopping and all of these kind of things. So we'll spend 3 nights there. We'll have dinner together the first night, and you may want to indulge in some poutine, which, if you haven't had, the word poutine itself just means mess. So it is a mess, but it also is yummy. And it's an iconic dish there of French fries topped with gravy and cheese curds. So please give it a try. Then a local guide's going to take you on a city tour all around Quebec's holiday traditions, view the city's historic sites. You will see the famous hotel here, the Chateau Frontenac, which is a majestic, really. It's in the old Quebec area, built back in the 1800s, and it sits on a dormant volcano. So Cape Diamond is where it sits. Then we have some free time, and this is what it's all about. Do some of that Christmas shopping. So Quebec's German Christmas markets here, through these markets, may not be the best thing in the way to describe it because you're going to be stopping along the way. Just don't eat at the first several stalls because you'll keep finding more and more things that you want to try. You'll indulge in some of these German specialties too, mulled wine, treat yourself to some sweet cake, maybe in a fresh doughy pretzel, and finish up all that Christmas shopping that you want to do. But this is a great way to partake in European and German holiday traditions without leaving North America. Then we're going to have a cooking experience, a hands-on experience here. You're going to roll up your sleeves for a workshop on how to create Bouche de Noel, which is a Yule log at Christmas time. And if you've never tried it before, let me kind of describe it. And I look at it because I remember back in the day when Hostess made ding dongs and ho-hos. Ding dongs, everybody knows, probably looks like a hockey puck, but a ho-ho is more rolled this way. So if you've never tried one, though, picture this delicate spongy cake rolled together with a rich, creamy filling covered with sweet coatings like buttermilk. So you'll get to try your hand at rolling this up. And it's just a sweet way for anybody to start off the holiday season. You'll get a chance to understand the custom that it brings and maybe even bring the recipe home and indulge your family with it. The remainder of the day is yours to enjoy the holiday spirit in Quebec, walk around the streets of the magical Old Quebec, or head back to the Christmas markets. But either way, keep those eyes and ears open for performances that might just pop up of carolers. You may want to relax in a cafe. You may want to stroll through, see a lot of the historic buildings, or maybe even walk down to the waterfront. On the way back from there, we're going to stop at a traditional sugar shack. So you probably by this point will have tried some maple syrup. Quebec produces 70% of the world's maple syrup. FYI, fun fact there. Begin your day by setting off to the countryside to enjoy breakfast at this local sugar shack. You're going to dive in, learn all about the history of syrup, learn about the traditions of maple syrup making, as well as sampling some of this famous food. Before you leave, make sure that you try the favorite regional treat of maple taffy in the snow. I'm not going to go through the whole video there, but we'll post it out there if you want to see it. Quick little question. On average, how many gallons of sap does it take to produce 1 gallon of maple syrup? Is it 5? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? Yes, it is 40, if you can believe that. We're going to stop at the natural wonder of Mount Morenci Falls. If you have not heard about it, it actually is about 100 feet higher than Niagara Falls. You're going to get to visit it during the cold weather season. You'll get to appreciate the wintertime beauty without the summer crowds and marvel at these impressive falls, and then make your way back to Montreal for your final night. You'll arrive in the afternoon, enjoy some free time, revisit some of the favorite attractions, maybe head back to the Christmas markets for any last minute memorable gifts. And then tonight we're going to have a farewell dinner, toasting a unforgettable holiday memories that you have made. Then your tour comes to an end and then you fly on back. This tour is going to take place in December 6th through the 12th of 2026. And here's the pricing, including your insurance. Your deposit's due by June 6th of 2026. You can also get a 100% of your money back by June 6th, including your insurance. Final payment, 90 days out, 38.48 double, including everything like the last ones. And there's singles. There may even be triples too, and I'll show you where that is in a minute. And those are first come, first serve. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Machu Picchu and Galapagos. And I actually saw we have about 4 or 5 people already signed up for this in 2027. So this is a huge bucket list. You know, the hidden wonders of Peru, the middle of the world in Ecuador, and the wildlife on a cruise along the islands. So here's what we do. We'll fly into Lima. We'll do some inner flights up and around to Quito, and then we go then we go out on the cruise. This isn't explorations. This means there's no more than 24 people max. 19 is about the average. When I did our safari, it was an explorations as well, and I only had 8 people on it. So it's just a great way to travel, especially to some of these very bucket list kind of places too, like this. So um, we're going to start off in Lima, the city of kings, founded back, in 1535 by a Spanish conquistador. We'll tour through the historic center. You'll stop at the San Francisco Monastery. You'll enter the catacombs. You'll see where over 75,000 bodies were actually buried. Then we're going to fly to Cusco. We'll follow the trail of the Andes Paradise with a local guide to the sacred valley of the Incas. We'll visit the Pisac village market, where you'll see how the indigenous community there come to the famous Sunday market. They sell all their produce and other goods. And look at the vibrant colors, right? They're just absolutely crazy about all these bright colors for weavings and jewelry and ponchos, ceramics, you name it. Then we're going to do a cooking class, and you're going to learn how to make ceviche and pisco sours and find out why Peru has been named the world's top food destination. This evening, this is the hotel where you're going to stay, nestled here in the heart of the Sacred Valley. Then we're going to head over to the sacred ruins of the terraced Ollantaytambo. And then we'll stop. We'll see the ceramic studio here, which this is an internationally renowned artist that creates many masterpieces that he'll share with you. Then we're going to climb aboard Machu Picchu Visto Dome train for breathtaking views of the Andes. It's a the train has these domed windows that are just perfect for panoramic views of the mountains and the jungles on your way to Machu Picchu. You will find your way to the lost city of the Incas. The incredible history here too, with the fabled ruins of Machu Picchu. At this meeting point between the Peruvian Andes and the Amazon basin. It's to believed that it was abandoned about 100 years before inhabitants the inhabitants that lived here died from smallpox. So the site was later discovered in 1911 by Hiram Bigham, who was a lecturer at Harvard, and he took pictures for the National Geographic and devoted a whole section back in 1913. These ruins, those span over 5 miles, 3,000 stone steps, and over 150 buildings. We do offer an option too that you can add on if you want to get up really early in the morning. And I hear it is so worth it. I have a friend who just got back and she's like, just include it on your trip that it is fabulous. You actually will take a bus. You leave about 4:30 in the morning and the bus picks you up at a local spot. The tour manager will show you where it is and it'll give you a round trip transfer up there. But to be up there as the sun's coming up is just an incredible experience. Then we'll take the Vista Dome back to the Sacred Valley and arrive in Cusco. We'll visit another market, the San Pedro Market, the temple, the Cusco Cathedral, and then we'll fly to Ecuador, which is the capital city. The capital city is Quito, and this is the highest capital city in the world. It sits about 9,400 feet above sea level. We'll stand in the middle of the world here when you cross between the hemispheres of the equatorial line monument and museum. Then we fly to a hub of the spectacular Galapagos archipelago, San Cristobal. And this is the easternmost island in the Galapagos archipelago, and it's also one of the oldest. This island is where 3 different species of booby birds and great frigate birds can be nesting all at the same time. These islands together make up about 3,000 square miles. This is the ship that you'll be on. This is called the Coral 2. You'll spend 4 nights on this luxury yacht. You'll take in some beautiful views from the elegant waters. The ship is intimate and modern, and it includes a lot of comfortable lounges, large windows to see. Later, you'll take a hike up the Terratus Hill, which offers some beautiful landscapes, magnificent views on foot of many different birds at their nesting area. Here we're gonna witness to the Cerro Brujo Tuff Cone, which was created from volcanic eruptions, lava formation, as well as beautiful white sandy beach. This is a perfect spot too, and you will have the opportunity to do some snorkeling and sunbathing after we have a wet landing there this morning. We'll have another wet landing lead us to the trail to an intense hike, if you'd like, over the rocky terrain to the top of the volcanic tuff with several magnificent viewpoints. And then we'll have some time here at one of the beaches to do some snorkeling, as well as some dinghy rides in search of these seabirds. We'll do a dry landing on Espanola Island, which is the oldest and the most isolated of the Galapagos, offering unparalleled variety of wildlife. You'll see colonies of sea lions and seabirds. You'll see turquoise-colored iguanas, lava lizards. You'll also see some of these colorful crabs that are called Sally Lightfoot crabs. And again, have that opportunity to swim and snorkel, see the marine life, angelfish, coral fish, all different types of manta rays and parrotfish. And then you'll continue along the trail to the beautiful white sand beach. That is an important nesting place and site for the green Pacific sea turtles. You may even encounter some of Darwin's finches, yellow warbles, or lava lizards here and snorkel among playful sea lions or these beautiful green Pacific sea turtles, which we think of. And then we'll have a dry landing there at Santa Cruz Island, where we will visit the Highland Tortoise Reserve. And this is where we know of these giant tortoises, right? The famed Galapagos giant tortoises. And you'll have a chance to learn all about them, take lots of pictures. Then we say goodbye to the Galapagos. We're going to return to Quito, where there's a day room that's available close to the airport before you make your way home. So, great trip. very interactive, lots of culinary, lots of history, a little bit more active too. So keep that in mind. I think this is a level 4. So, but anyway, like I said, we've already got several folks from Ollie signed up on this one, and this is going to be in 2027. There is a Peruvian Amazon extension too. So if you want to throw that in there too, this is what we call hosted. So again, that experience of some free time, but also having a local expert with you. It's 4 days, and it would be where you would start the trip and then you would go into the regular tour. This is going to be February 22nd through March 7th of 2027. Oh, I can't believe we're even saying that yet. And again, the deposit and insurance together to hold your spot is 1547. Deposits are due by June of 2026, 100% refundable, including your insurance till that date. Final payment will be a year from now, basically, right? October 25th of 2026. And just know that why I put there starting means there's different cabins too on the ship that you can choose, but $11,698 for double occupancy. And there's very few, if any, singles. So just let us know if that's something that you need to do. We do, and that wraps up all the trips, but just to give you a couple other reminders, if you have not traveled with Collette and Ollie, we do have a centralized pickup area where we get everybody to the airport. Then when you arrive in destination, all your transfers are included with your land and air package from Collette. If you want to do any upgrading, that's available. You'll just sign up for that there on your sign up sheet, which I'm going to show you where it is um, on the Ollie page here in a minute. And then the insurance, right? It is included. It is part of what Ollie members pay for when they put their money down. And it allows for you to get a full refund for cancellation at any time. I mean, you're having a bad hair day and you just don't want to go. You can still cancel up until a day before departure, get all your money back minus the insurance. We give it back to you in the same form that you gave it to us. If it's your credit card, it goes on a credit card. If it was a check, you'll get your check back. The insurance is the penalty. You're covered, medical, evacuation, baggage loss, delay, all of those things really provide you with peace of mind while you travel. If you've traveled with us before, you may know this already, but we do have a passport club and you get a discount off of your final payment, depending on how long ago it was and how many trips you've done with us. You will need a passport. I'm trying to think if you need a visa going, you may, but we'll let you know any of those kind of things. And there are some things changing with global travel too, with ETIAS, and we'll make sure you have all that information. Don't worry. Domestic, we do have that one domestic trip celebrating America's 250th. And I'm pretty sure everybody has a star on their driver's license by this time. This is that information about the ETIAS. You can see there it says 2025. Well, it's not happening in 2025. It's going to happen in 2026 right now. So as we get there and we know more, we'll share it with you. I'll show you how you sign up in just a minute. And that is the end of all the tours. So I'm going to stop and see if there's any questions first, and then I'll be
Yeah.
glad to jump over to the website if they want to see. Go ahead.
Sure. We do have a question from Miss Fran. Do you provide specific travel-ready info packages for each trip on what to pack, where, money, etc.?
Very good question, and thank you for asking it. We sure do. We send out, and it's so handy and great. We send out a green packet, and if there's guys on here as well as women, I apologize, but it's kind of like a makeup bag, okay? Is what it looks like. It has a zipper on the top, and you open it up, and inside of there is all your travel documents, including your flights. And then it also gives you travel tips and packing ideas, but I'm also going to show you on the web link where you can see all that. Before the tour, we'll do a Zoom and I'll go through that electronically. You'll have it in your hands and we'll answer any questions and Jordan will provide where the pickup's going to be. And it's just a great experience. So yes, we do.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, so let me just
Well,
show them this real quick if we have just another minute. just because I like to point out where to go get the information. All right, so let me share my screen. And all right, are you seeing my screen where it says Travel with Ollie?
Yes, we are.
Great. So guys, you're probably very familiar with the Ollie website right here, and you're just going to go to the section that says travel. And then underneath here, I bet you'll get to see me again if you really want to listen to me again from an earlier presentation, all the contact information for Jordan. And then you've got some trips here. I'm not sure how much space is left on Southern Charm Holiday. So if you are interested, let me know or let Jordan know and we'll check. But you can see Shades of Ireland. There's our Spain trip. There's celebrating. There's the 250th, and there's the Christmas markets and Machu Picchu. So let's say you want to go on this trip. You just click trip details. It's going to jump over, and here is our co-branded site with Ollie and Collette. And it tells you the dates, the activity level, all of that great information. If you go left to right, you got an overview, itinerary, day to day, tells you the hotel, tells you what meals are included, tells you about any tour extensions too. So if you want to go in early, if you want to do the pre or post or any of that, all of that information's there. The pricing, which we talked about, single, double, triple, you're saving $200. And I know we're past this point, so that $200 is probably gone, but let me know if you're still interested, if we have room. And then travel tips. I think this is one of our questions. So while on tour, you might have questions about what are the seatbelt guidelines? That's there. Who is this tour manager? What do they do? Wi-Fi. And then we actually have a tab getting ready for tour. And all of this will be in those travel documents we send you as well. So maybe you want to know about the luggage guidelines, right? Maybe you want to know about what kind of electricity or currency, gratuities, but we'll go over all of that as well. When you're ready, oh, and if you have a friend who wants to join, you just click right there. And this is very handy. You can send them an email from this link, from this web page too, so they can go with you. You go to the sign up today button. And when you do, we're going to give you a reminder about the Real ID. You choose whether you're a single, double, triple, and you just click on single. Well, I'm going to do it single, but if you're double, do that. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to, and mine's already been kind of saved because I've done this a few times, but anytime there's a asterisk by there, that is a mandatory field. All right, for some reason it's doing this twice. And then my email, I'm going to skip this because I don't have my passport on me, but even if you're getting it renewed or I don't have it with you, but you want to get signed up, we can add that later. Just don't put anything in this section if you don't have all the answers. And then all of this is not required, right? So I'm going to take this out. I think it might have picked up something. One second. Let me go back up here because sometimes it picks up something from another one and then it kicks me out. So you see mobility, if you need any of these special things, hey, is it going to be your anniversary, birthday? Let us know. Any dietary restrictions, put it in here. And then you continue on through all of this and you choose your airport, you choose anything else you want to tell us about, frequent flyer. Here's where you would upgrade, business class, premium economy. Even if you're not 100% sure, I would recommend if you think you want it, choose now. It's a lot easier for us to get you back into economy than a lot of times upgrade, and you can change your mind. Then travel protection is already included, so just click on that. And then you go on to the next page. That's where you're going to pick, all the pre's and posts and any extensions that you want for the tour. And then you continue on and you get to your payment screen, and then you choose who's paying. And then you put the amount that are, this is 1247 is what I would pay. I prefer to pay by credit card. And then I agree to it. I hit continue. Then you get an email. Jordan gets an email. And in about 7 days, we'll get you an invoice for it. But it's easy peasy. Any questions? Thank you, Denise. That's very
No.
nice. Great.
All right, well, Karen, yeah, we really appreciate your time to walk through this incredible itineraries for these trips. And as always, if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll get those answers to you as quickly as we can.
Great. You guys have a great weekend. See you soon.
You take
Okay,
care,
thank
everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.